Alright. Can you tell I recorded a bunch of these at one time? What are you gonna do? Had to make sure they got made. I don't know. So today's game in my NES collection, I'm going through them one at a time. I'm here at my battle station. This is kind of my favorite place to be. I haven't talked about this in the last few of these I did, and I think the reason is because the frame is really cramped. But this is it, man. TCR happens right here. This is the stuff. That's not on now. The sound would probably be a lot better if it was. So that brings me to the Castlevania, jeez Louise. California games. I dug it a lot as a kid. This was one my oldest brother, bought and brought home. We liked it because in those days you came across games rarely. They were expensive, so it wasn't like you could get you could buy like a bunch of them at one time. That didn't really become a thing until Funko Land came around. But this one had it had a bunch of different events in it that felt like different little games. So it felt like we were getting the good bang for the buck. And people now like to kind of crap on this one. I still enjoy it. I thought the music was great. It had like a little 8-bit rendition of Louie Louie on the title screen, and it had I don't know. It had some good tunes. I remember liking the BMX mode was really fun. Even though you could cheese the score by tapping the button over and over again and doing like a million little tiny jumps. That would get you a higher score than actually performing the stunts and whatnot. But then there was like I think the most famous that comes up now is the flying disc mode, the video game frisbee mode. You want to play frisbee in a video game? This has got your back. I guess that the hacky sack isn't any better. There's also video game hacky sack, and there was a lot of these. Every system had one. I've also got the California games for the Atari 2600. It isn't. I mean, it's. There's no way it's gonna be nearly as good. But at least it had different modes you could play in an Atari 2600 game. So for Atari games, that's worth liking for the same reason, because there's different stuff you can do. You can surf, you can kind of bike downhill, and that's really all I remember from the Atari version. I didn't play that one much. So this is California games. I still like it, although I know I'm going to take some heat for this. And my copy's got gum on the back. I don't know how that happened. I feel like that's something I should address now that I'm collecting games again, is going through my old collection and making sure all these old games are in tip-top shape. Because as you can see, they aren't. I have always bought my games to play, not to collect. I buy them to play. So if they work, no instruction manual, I've got... Of all the Nintendo games I have, I've probably got like maybe 4 or 5 complete in-box Nintendo games. And the only reason why I have those is because one time I was walking around downtown with my friend, and we went into, of all places, like a used CD store. And this was a long time ago as well. I don't even think was I in college yet? I don't know. It was a long time ago. And they had like maybe 10 in-box NES games. And between my friend and I, we bought every single one of them. And we walked out with all of those games. I have a video that I recorded several years back of a complete in-box, unplayed version of Zelda 2. And that was the day we got that. Zelda 2 and I think Marvel Madness and a couple others, but apart from that, I always buy to play. It always seems silly if there's a copy of the game for $5 and a copy of the game for $8, and one just happens to look a little bit better than the other. I would always get the $5 one. That just seemed like the smart move to me. And now that I'm returning to my video game collection as an adult, I think that's the reason I end up with gum on my games, because I certainly didn't put this here. I took better care of my things than that. All right, that's That's enough of a peek at my NES collection for this time. I'll see you guys in the next one.